What's up YouTube? Jeff back again. Today, another Pixel 6 Pro case video. I was actually really excited about this one. I've got the UAG Scout Series case for the Google Pixel 6 Pro. Now, they also make this case for the Pixel 6. So we're going to talk about it and compare it to some of the other cases I have. Before we get started, I'll remind you guys, Samsung has a sweet accessory sale going on. It ends actually, I think, in 10 days. I'll drop the link below if you guys need any accessories, micro SD cards, etc. Check it out, supports the channel. There's also a bunch of other holiday gift guides and stuff that I'm putting together in terms of sales. If you guys are shopping for the holidays already, those will be in the description and the pinned comment as well. So let's get right to it. So this is the Scout Series case. If you follow me on Twitter, I posted about this last night and I mentioned that I just got it and it's not very good. So I'm going to tell you why I think it's not very good. So you guys know, of course, I have a couple other cases I'm going to compare to really quick. We got the Bellroy and the official Google case. And if you guys remember, the official Google case, I did not like that much because this case is quite loose. This case fits really tight, and I did a video on this, so if you haven't seen it, go check it out. And the main problem with the Scout Series case is that just like the Google case, it's incredibly loose, even more so. So you can check it out here. You apply a tiny bit of pressure, it just pops off. I mean, I'm not really applying hardly any pressure. If you shake this a little bit, the corner will start coming out a little bit. Like, you don't need to even push it very much. If you just put your thumb there, or if you just go to turn the power button on, this thing will actually move. It comes off very easily. I actually found out yesterday when I was using the phone with this case, inadvertently, when I popped it on, I actually dropped this case while I was taking a picture of the baby, and it popped off and it actually scratched, it's probably hard to see, it scratched the gold border a little bit. Kind of hard to see it on the video, but it scratched the top corner of the border a little bit because the case actually popped off. It's so loose. This is not typical of UAG. So, you know, I love their cases in general, so I don't want to say that it's typical of them as a brand, because it's not. A couple other things I don't like about it. If you have the gold phone in particular, if you look at this here, you see how it shows like the top of that colorized part of your Pixel 6 Pro. I'm not a huge fan of that. It doesn't really look great with the black on the sort of sunny model. So that's a potential issue that I think exists for people who have this particular color. It might look nice with the black, but the white's also going to look a little weird. You can also see the border of the gold at the bottom. Some people don't like that. On the Bellroy one, you really can't. It's, of course, a little thick. All UAG cases are a little thick. You do have reinforced corners and stuff, but because it's so loose, I still wouldn't trust it for drop protection. And then another thing that's a little different between this one and the Bellroy case, if you actually look at this top piece here, where there's supposed to be this little shelf at the top that sort of separates where the camera bar is, the shelf isn't as well defined on the UAG case, which is actually a bummer for me because I like this because it gives you somewhat of a grip because, you know, this is a big phone. This one is not as well defined. There's not as much of a shelf there for you to actually to rest your finger on. I like to rest my finger there when I'm using the phone with a single hand. That's just my preference. And so I'll show you the difference between, first let me show you the difference between this UAG case and what I would call a really great UAG case. This is the camo version for the Galaxy S21 Ultra. Now this is the Scout series, which is their cheaper series. And so it kind of makes sense, I guess, that this case isn't as good, but I've never had a problem with any of their Scout Series cases. This is the more premium line. This is a $50 case. The Scout Series is $30. So, you know, there's a price difference. But if you check out the difference here, you see this case here, you don't see like you don't really see the border. You can see a little bit, but it's not so loose that you can see the whole top of the phone like you can on the Pixel. Like you can see, there's a pretty clear difference in the amount of the border that you can see, and that shows you how loose it is. And on this one, you can't just pop it off. Like I have to apply, I'm applying some pressure. I have to apply a decent amount of pressure to get the corner to pop off. I can't just shake it and hop off. I definitely am not worried if this thing drops that it's actually going to give me, you know, any sort of issue. And you can also see there's a pretty big difference in the protection because the reinforced corners on the Scout series, while they're there, they're not as thick. You see how nice and reinforced these corners are in my S21 camo case? There's a pretty huge difference. Even between, this is actually one for the OnePlus 9 Pro. This is the Plasma series case, which is their flagship line of cases, I believe. You can see, again, the thickness in the reinforced corners there. I don't have my OnePlus 9 Pro around right now. It's charging, but this one also, you know, no super looseness. Again, I think the looseness is mainly because of the Pixel 6 Pro design. A lot of case manufacturers, to accommodate that hump, they're kind of making it quite loose. But I don't like it because when I just go to touch the power button or the volume, I feel like I could easily pull the case off and then drop the phone. That actually did kind of happen to me with the Pixel 6 Pro standard case, which has a similar issue. So I'll show you the difference though. Here's the Pixel 6 Pro going into the Scout case, right? You just slide it in there, it goes on there like nothing, right? Which shows how loose it is. If you do this with the Bellroy case, and I showed this in my last video, the Bellroy case, again, I got the biscuit color, this is the light color. You really can't do this one by sliding in the top bar because it won't actually fit because it's so tight. You actually have to slide in the entire right side of the phone first, pop that in, and then put some force on it. You've got to apply significant force and then pop the corners in like that. And then this case goes on a super tight fit. You'll also notice you can't see nearly as much of the top colored part. You really can't see it much at all, just a little of the outline of the gold. You really can't see much of that colored part of my Sword of Sunny Pro. So far, in terms of the cases that I found, the Bellroy is definitely my favorite because it has the nicest fit. I know there's some other ones people want to see. I'm trying to do as many as I can. I always use quite a lot of cases, so I know people usually like to see reviews of them, individual reviews, because not that many people do them. I would not personally buy either of these cases, the UAG or the Pixel 6 Pro official case from Google. I just don't like the fit. I probably won't use them that much. I will get some Spigen ones and a couple of the other ones on Amazon if people are interested in those. If you guys want to follow me on Twitter for more updates, of course, I'll have more Pixel 6 Pro coverage. I got a battery analysis coming, a few other things, and then a lot of holiday gift coverage coming up as well. Appreciate you guys watching the video, and I'll see you in the next one. Thanks a lot for watching.